we will break a little, bit by bit. We'll open
the head. But Dobell reacted to the scrutiny directly. "You're taking it bit by bit," he said, "and I'm taking it."
His school grades improved, and bit by bit Ben climbed from the bottom of his class to become an outsider.
That accumulate bit by bit by bit by bit, and those give you these nice time series records too, where we can look at things like
the mountains bit by bit, so that they could then have somewhere to lay the pipes back down from.
Sight of him now, by the Spirit, by faith, makes us more like him spiritually, bit by bit. But in that day when we see him,
duck the fight, and our union could have been taken apart bit by bit. Take it on.
We'll move a muscle for 7 days. And these guys, bit by bit, pulled that mattress apart, slid her onto a board, and took her out.
And so we've been resurrecting this meaning bit by bit, piece by piece. The archaeological excavation has also added
the human voice, but it is. So I'm going to take you through it bit by bit and start nice and simple.
On the local level, and bit by bit, those kind of victories, and they've happened in Florida.
Sort of building the story, bit by bit.
Yeah, you just got to slowly sneak.
But it's how, bit by bit, generation by generation, we have made progress in this
generation, and we've been figuring that out bit by bit, and I think
congratulated as they took her down bit by bit, so they continue to do so.
Pick it up, just bit by bit, isn't it?
Yes, and I do have one more trick up my sleeve with the
lose, and so only bit by bit in pretty much the era of World War II.
And expand the snowflake outwards, bit by bit. A snowflake's developing shape.
New Yorker did, and they were sending you bit by bit by bit. You had the
even if fertility creeps down bit by bit, and we're looking at several decades.
I can't see, and bit by bit, God was dealing with me. And it was that night.
On with a rotting corpse that you are gradually cutting down bit by bit. And we know that each...
So all these sectors were privatized from the 80s and onwards, bit by bit. And I know that people...
And Albert, to his credit, kind of stuck by his guns, and bit by bit, some of the most resistant students and...
And we grew solutions bit by bit in partnership.
My CV before I was applying for a job, and went down it with his pencil bit by bit, and finally he looked up at me.
And, you know, it's a story that we had to piece together bit by bit, and that's the fun part about being a...
Stripped it away bit by bit and called what was left a weakness. We call this the deficit model.
I just left. And then things bit by bit sort of settled.
An effort than I ever dreamed. But